Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Press Play Lifestyle Inspired podcast, where we do interviews with interesting and inspiring people like my new friend here. So, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself to our audience today?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyla, and I am the founder of the Freedom Formula. It's the secret to increasing confidence, improving brain health, and becoming more successful in every area of your life. I work with ambitious women who are ready to make a change, take charge in their lives, and make shit happen.
Oh, wow, I love that. I think sometimes we forget that there's a lot of fun in making shit happen.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind me swearing on your show.
Oh, I don't mind at all. No. So one of the things is we do not make our show PG-13 because sometimes some really difficult topics come up, which you might imagine with some of our different types of clients. We've known each other for a couple of years, and we've gone through some programs together. And I noticed you've kind of up-leveled your target audience a bit. Tell me a little bit about like the kind of women that you really enjoy working with.
So I love working with women in their 20s who are super ambitious. They're go-getters. They're trying to level up in their career, in their life. Maybe they're finishing school and they're just ready to reach all their goals. Like, they have big goals. They're super ambitious, but sometimes they have something holding them back a bit, whether that's a little bit of like a lack of confidence, some foggy brain, some anxiety, just things that are really getting in the way of them reaching their goals. So I work with them to improve their confidence, to become successful, and to increase their health so that they're able to reach all the goals they want to reach and do the things they want to do without having anything hold them back.
Awesome. So what's like a trick or a technique or something that you might offer a client in terms of improving their confidence?
It's a good one. So I think one thing is you got to see it before you can believe it. Or you have to believe it before you can see it happen. So one thing I found, I know it sounds kind of woo, but visualization has been incredible. And you have to tell yourself these things because you can't expect just to walk out and be confident just by being like, I'm confident, I'm going to show up, because you're going to go and you're going to do the things and it's kind of going to pull you back. So you have to really get into that state. You have to feel it. I like to do a lot of brain rewiring with my clients, which is more of a one-on-one thing, but that's super, super powerful to break past these limiting beliefs that hold people back so that they can grow and become their true selves, their true confident selves. That they know it's in there. They just got to bring it out somehow and get past all the beliefs that may have been instilled from childhood.
Somebody told me once it's like getting past your BS, your belief system. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's very clever. So one of the things I appreciate you saying woo, because when I first started coaching, I was like kind of a little bit anti woo woo. I'm like, but I'm technical. That's really, but there's some really interesting like research about like the brain and its ability, not its almost inability to know if it's past, present, or future, or if it happened in real life versus if you visualized it really strongly happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I've always heard confidence is about repetition, but if you don't have a actual physical way to repeat it, visualization's an opportunity for that, right? Where you can continue to do it in a good way and through visualization. Have you found that to be true in your work?
Yeah, so there's this concept called neuroplasticity, where our brain is always firing new neural connections. And there's this phrase in neuroscience called neurons that fire together wire together. So if you're gonna so say typically we grow up and we get these beliefs of, I'm not good enough, I have to be the best, I have to be perfect. This is a lot of thing that this comes up with my clients a lot. They have to be perfect, they have to be strong, they have to show up. And if they have these beliefs going of, I'm not good enough, because I'm not perfect, because I'm not the very best, means I'm a failure. Those neurons, they keep firing together. Like, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. Like, why did you do this? You're stupid, you're lazy, like whatever it is. So what we have to do is we need to break these bonds of these neurons. And as we start to break them, and we start to rewire. I'm confident, I'm worthy, I show up as my best self, I'm gonna fucking kill it. I know I'm successful, I know I can do this, I'm smart, I'm beautiful. We're gonna start firing those neurons so they'll start to wire together. And as a byproduct, the other ones, the negative self talk, that starts to fizzle off. So the neurons, they're not as powerful anymore. Those beliefs, they start to fade away. And you're replacing it with these new ones of like, I am powerful, I am successful, I am confident, I know I can do this. And at first, it might feel like you're lying to yourself. Like, to be completely honest, it does. You're like, what the, like, what am I doing? Like, how is this going to make a change? But when we look at the scientific mechanics behind it, these neurons, they're actually wiring together. So over time, this becomes your new belief system. This becomes how your brain automatically goes. And I like to talk to my clients about like mind control in a sense. If you can start to control your mind to shift from these negative beliefs to these positive ones, that's when you have like such a strong superpower, because that's everything. If you think of going to close a deal, say you're going to go close like a $50,000 deal with your corporate job, and you're going in believing like, I don't know if I can do this. This is a lot of money. I don't know. I'm not the top salesperson here. What am I supposed to do? That's going to subconsciously come out, and you're not going to close that deal. Versus if you walk in or you're on the phone and you know because you've worked on these beliefs, you know that you're capable, you're strong, you're successful, you're amazing at closing these deals. And people should be like, they're fucking blessed to be in your presence and work with you. Then you're going to go into it so much more empowered and so much more powerful. And then you can close the deals, you can get the promotion, you can get all the things that you want to get. And it all started with this process of rewiring your brain through visualization, through beliefs, and through neuroplasticity.
Wow, it almost sounds like magic, but I've seen it work too. So I'm like, it's like practical magic. It actually happens.
Yeah.
Um, One of
Yeah.
the things you mentioned were like about like limiting beliefs had come up quite a few times. And I think sometimes when we doubt ourselves, we think we're like the only one. So I wonder if you might share with us some common limiting beliefs that you've seen with your clients. And then if at all possible, you know, maybe one technique or something that can help them move forward toward, you know, having a more empowered belief.
Yeah. So some really common ones are I'm not worthy. So, like, I don't deserve success. I don't deserve to feel good. I've definitely heard some, like, I don't deserve to feel good. I don't deserve to be loved. I'm not good enough for these things. Um, Lots of things like around that realm. And a lot of the time it comes from our parents and what we learned as children. And it kind of just gets ingrained in us where you're not good enough because your parents, like, they do the best that they can. And they want to raise you to a very high standard so you can be successful in society. Yet at the same time, they're instilling these beliefs of you're not good enough the way that you are. And that's been a huge one with all of my clients. That's been absolutely massive.
Wow.
So that's where, like, even just celebrating your small wins is one tactic. It sounds so simple, but to just take the time and be like, you know what, like, I did accomplish this. Like, look how far I've came this month, look how far I've came this year, look how far I've came in the past 5 years. And just really focusing on the wins. So when it goes back to the beliefs, you're reinstilling these beliefs of like, I am worthy, I am going to be successful, and I am good enough.
Yeah, I think sometimes if we celebrate the wins, it's like creating new proof loops. Like we're proving over and over again that we are this new thing we want to believe. At least I know that's helpful for some of my own clients. I'm curious, you mentioned a lot of your clients have gone through this. Um, can you give us an example of like one of the clients you've had the wins, like a small, real small win that they celebrated and that would be a good example of this?
Yeah, so I guess with a small win was I had one client with really, she had chronic vertigo where she couldn't go to work, she couldn't go to school, she couldn't even get out of bed because she was so dizzy all the time. And a lot of it, ironically, was actually coming from anxiety and from her beliefs. She had seen all the doctors, she's gotten MRIs, all the brain scans, the neurologists, like all the things. And the whole time, what it was her anxiety. And a big part of it was her beliefs that were going behind that anxiety. But once we were able to lower that anxiety, she was able to do things like even just cry, which sounds so minuscule, like such a small thing. But for her, she was in this constant fog where she couldn't feel any emotions. She was also taking medications at the time. So when she was able to get out of that, she was actually able to feel her emotions again. And she could cry, which for her was, it sounds so small, but it's such a big breakthrough. And to be able to feel your emotions and experience like the full spectrum of life is so powerful. And with that, as she progressed, she gained this like newfound confidence, this newfound security, and then she ended up getting a promotion. And all of this happened within a very short time period. But just seeing those changes are absolutely profound.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why our work is so wonderful, right? It's just seeing people go from unresourced to crushing it. It's crazy and it's amazing and it's like very rewarding. Um,
Yeah.
you do so many things and you help women out so much. What is like, do you have like a, of course all of our clients are our favorites. We don't pick our favorite children, we don't pick our favorite clients, but if you had a client that you just were so glad you found one another and that you were able to support them, does one come to mind for you?
Yeah, I would say that one I just talked to you about, who
Yeah.
was suffering for, say, 15 years,
Oh,
like 15 years, dealing with these like panic attacks and the vertigo, and just feeling so held back in life, and being able to overcome that, to get the promotions, to deal with the medical conditions that she had had for her entire life. And she spent so much money and so much time on different doctors and specialists and chiropractors and therapists and psychologists and all the things. And to be able to work with her for just 90 days and help her overcome that and gain this newfound sense of like confidence and happiness and love for life was absolutely amazing.
makes all the hard work worth it, huh?
Yeah, totally. It
Yeah.
makes me cry sometimes when I'm reading like the feedback I get. I'm like, oh my goodness, so fulfilling.
That's awesome. So if somebody is sitting at home right now and they're like struggling with fill in the blank, how would you know that they're a good client for you? Like, what would they be saying to themselves right now that if they're saying that in their head, they should call you instead?
Yeah, so someone that knows they want more for their life, they are ambitious. They have big goals. They know that they're capable. There's just something holding them back. Whether that's just anxiety and trying to get over that, maybe like a lack of confidence, maybe their health isn't ideal in the place they want it to be. Just someone that is like, and a big thing that I have heard from my clients is they feel like they just didn't have as much hope. They knew that they wanted more, but they couldn't find the hope. So someone that is just trying to get past that and get on with their life. Because the clients I work with are mostly in their 20s. So they're at that age where it's a very pivotal moment of their life. They haven't quite gotten into the career they want for the rest of their life. Maybe they have, maybe they just started out, but they know that they want to be super successful and they want to get after their goals and crush it. They just need a little bit of help getting there.
Someone who's been there to kind of help support them on their journey.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So if that person sitting at home and is like, I definitely have to talk to this gal, what is the best place to find you so that they can get in touch with you and get some of the support that you will be able to offer?
Yeah, so the best place to get in touch with me is on my Instagram. So that's instagram.com/KylaMarie.b. So KYLAMARIE and just send me a message on there. Super approachable, totally fine. You can reach out anytime. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much for taking the time. I know you're busy helping people. So I always am so appreciative that you spend time with me. Are there any parting words that you'd like to offer up to the audience that can maybe send them off in a good, positive way?
Yeah, I guess I would just say no matter where you're at right now, no matter how hard things feel right now, if you are determined and ambitious, like there's ways you can get out of it. You can totally get out of whatever you're in right now. There's so much hope and so much to look forward to. And if you need the support to basically get out of your own way to get reach the goals that you want to reach, then there's no shame in reaching out for support. Absolutely. Um, it's interesting because a lot of top performers like Fortune 500 execs and super successful people, pro athletes, they all have coaches. They all have people helping them with their mindset and their health to get to reach the next level. So I think if you're struggling, there's absolutely no reason you should struggle for any longer. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hopefully people have found that helpful. And if anyone's looking for her, you can find her on Instagram again, right? And
Yes.
go and anything else. And I think that's kind of it for today. But I will make sure to have all your information in the show notes so that if anyone's looking for you, they'll be able to find you easily. And so if they miss that quick Instagram hashtag or our
Yeah.
username, we'll make sure that we get it in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
Thank you so much.
KylaMarie.b. So
Awesome.
super easy.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.